Hello, everyone. We are live. This is Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode number 106. Steadily climbing. God, I can't talk anymore. Not that I ever could, but
You're just old. That's it.
I'm not the one that has a small bladder.
Well, I know it.
Anyways,
He went there right away, didn't he?
Yeah. I left it alone though from there.
have you met me? All right. First thing first, make sure you like, subscribe, turn notifications on. That way, you go live with us when we go live. We got a new guest in studio, Mr.
Nobody
Jake the
does
Snake.
anymore.
Jake the Snake.
Frank. Depends if you're talking to Roth.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay.
So funny about Roth talking about how he. If you've ever been to any of our investigations with us, you know that Roth has a bit of a issue with names, and
Especially the first time.
the first time
He
he meets
is not
you.
going to remember your
So
name. He'll remember who you are, but not your name.
So I kid you not, we've been doing some investigations, and the first time meeting Jake here, he kept referring to him as Frank and everything. So he just let him do it. So it just became a thing. We just call him Jake Frank. We all just went with it. Well, so we started doing the Frank's Box sessions now during our everything,
Right.
and he refers to it without missing a beat. The Jake's Box.
Of course.
He doesn't even, he just reverses it.
It works.
But yeah.
It does.
So yeah, we've been doing the Frank's Box sessions a lot at our investigations, and they're turning out pretty good.
Really neat.
It's I don't know, I love it because we've been doing it a lot together.
Right.
You're usually the one listening in, and I just kind of try to figure out the conversation.
Why don't you explain what it is to the viewers at home?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That is taking away
Look at
everything.
Google it. Stop asking me.
No, so Frank's Box session is just taking the SB7
SB7.
spirit box.
Big pair of earphones to cancel out everything.
Absolutely. Jake is usually the best one that I've worked with, where he puts the headphones on and he just drowns himself out into the SB7. And
I
he
always
just
close my eyes and I always put my hands over my ears too.
And he goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
Yeah, I talk in my sleep, so it just works out.
And
Nice.
what he does is he just blurts out what he hears, coherently, like if it's an actual statement, a word or something, and whoever's around him is going to be asking questions just calmly.
Yeah.
Sit back, just ask a question out loud. You don't have to scream it or anything. Try not to let him hear what you're asking, and see if you can get an actual conversation happening with the spirit. And my God, we've been doing that in Dodge City. We had a whole storyline.
You had the best one there, though, with the two people arguing back and forth.
Yeah, I did try
yeah.
the headphones myself, and I sat there, and what came about was possibility of we figured out who Beth was. Maybe not as an individual, herself, but where she came from.
Yeah.
And the two adults that were arguing back and forth. It was amazing but it was a lot of cursing too. There was a lot of huge argument. And I felt bad, blurting out all these curse words to all of our
That's just what you got to
clients
do.
and stuff. But now I'm gonna have to, I'm more prepared to have a rating to the folks now, saying if anything's possible, and definitely anything's possible being said when we do this.
Right.
But no, it's been great. It's we've been doing that in clients' homes, trying to figure out who is there, and the one in El Dorado, I feel like we nailed that one. I feel like we did.
Yeah. The one in Augusta as well.
Yeah.
That last night in the basement.
Yes, that was pretty
You
phenomenal.
could almost feel it leave after that.
He was trying to be pushy and everything, and the questions, I was going back and forth. And then I stopped asking questions. I was being demanding, and then you were being, demanding right back. So it was I knew whoever was in the room with us was answering back to me and everything. Of course, you have no idea what's going on. You're just
Well,
saying,
after a while, you can almost like, this is where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's-
you're
it's-
just sitting there hearing it, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll just keep saying it.
It's fantastic, and I think we're gonna start. I know Leo's even mentioned. I'm just gonna throw you out there.
I'll throw you back.
Okay. He's sometime soon. We're gonna have in studio. We're gonna do some experiments.
Yeah.
We still
With
gotta
the,
basically do the 100th episode.
Well, we got
promised
that.
Everybody.
Yeah, we've got that. That's gonna happen. That's gonna be more like a celebration time. You know, that could be something. Well, we need to talk about that. You know.
Celebrate good times.
Talk about that soon.
Come on.
But we're doing the experiments here in studio, right in front of me here, and on camera, and
Right, that'd be
do
good.
Bob's board and a few other things. So, and you've never done that.
I haven't.
Nope. I finally got to see it
Not
open
sure
and
how.
everything. Like, it's just like a Ouija
Yeah,
board
yeah.
in so many words, but it's called Bob's board, and it's fascinating. It's a little weird. Just you know, it's like I got I guess, fake background story to it, Leo. Is it a fake or
possibly.
or is it
Possibly.
like based on a real serial killer? Possible. His remorse to
Yeah.
everything that happened. So I don't know. We're gonna do that here soon, hopefully. Have a little.
Yeah. So it's just some stuff we've been wanting to try, and you never know. I mean, just something fun. I mean, we're looking at doing some things and just behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, we were going to do some of it the other night, but I wanted to kind of get more people in here with us to help
Oh yeah.
man the ship, basically, and ship. I said
Man
not
the ship.
Oh yeah,
Not man
yeah.
the shit.
We all know you too well.
But yeah, anyway, so it'll be fun. I can't wait. Yeah, I don't know. Just want to say shout out to everybody watching. Got quite a few people.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hey, you got Jeremiah, Chris, Renee, Andy, Marla, and I can't see because my screen won't refresh. But okay, that's the people I see so far. But thank you all for joining.
There shall be.
We
others.
appreciate it. So what's been going on? Anything? Where you been, Jake?
I don't know. I just appeared back
You just showed up
in
one
my
day.
living room this morning. I don't know where
You're
I've
like
been.
you're like I never left.
Right.
I've been here the whole damn time.
He never left his work. That's what it is.
That's true too.
That's what
Well,
I'm
and part of
saying,
it, we just because of different things, family and Father's Day and all that stuff came up, in between. So we had a couple. Instead of doing Sunday shows, we did them on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So that's why Dan and Jake couldn't make it, and Roth they're working, and Jason and I just squeezed a couple out in between there. So it was kind of fun though. It was fun doing this, something
Did
different.
you even catch the?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Everybody
I heard. I
He
hear.
said squeezed a couple out.
But nah, it was fun though. We did a couple just random things and made it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if I could find any of the videos. I have videos of you doing said Frank's box, but I was trying to pull them up real fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to show the viewers kind of what we do.
Gotcha.
But I can't locate them for some reason because it doesn't help that I have 10,000 things. I mean, as far as multiple.
Well, you don't have them all categorized yet?
You would think. No, I have just different, like, I got so many hard drives here attached to this. Trying to find everything is a nightmare some days. But it's all good. We'll keep going with it. I know we did some of it on a show, a past episode. Oop, I didn't want that. Dang it. I'll find it. So, anywho, keep talking.
Keep talking.
I don't know. Excuse me. So, want to give a shout out to Dan the Man. He's not with us tonight because he's
Yeah.
on vacation, and lucky guy, he's at the Stanley Hotel tonight. So,
Right.
I'm sure he's doing some personal investigating and stuff like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I didn't know if he took the tour or not, so he never said anything.
I don't
to
know
me.
I don't know what he was planning on doing. I didn't know he was going until just yesterday when he grabbed his gear from me.
Oh, nice.
So,
Very nice.
which I'll kind of go into something about that. Where Corey and I are always experimenting with like
Whoa.
your gear or Dan's gear. Shut up over there. No, we set out some of the paranormal gear. I'm
Right.
trying I have to like say exactly what I'm doing
You
here.
could be ball gags. I don't judge.
But we
Keep talking.
so is that good? Oh, damn. I'm going up with that.
Okay.
Sorry, is that good? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
better? Okay.
Sorry.
I'm like,
In studio prompts.
I'm making Leo deaf over here by talking in
Yeah.
so loud. So anyway,
You said you and Corey have experimenting. That's all I heard.
yeah, I know that's all you heard. I said with paranormal equipment.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
you know, I had a lot of Dan's gear over there.
Right.
Didn't have the 360 or anything. But I had the REM pod out, had a K2 out, had Dan's balls out.
Yeah.
It's the
Cat toys.
motion sensor toys and stuff like that, which are
Clear
really
balls
awesome.
with
So
lights in them.
we were downstairs we were filling up her son who just turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
We were filling up his whole room with balloons. So we were down there, you know, just having fun, and we set out the equipment because that's the area of the infamous Christmas music that we caught that came out of nowhere.
The Phantom Jingle Bells.
Yeah, the Phantom Jingle Bells. That makes no sense. It's never happened again.
No.
Just that one night. And that was the same night that Leo was there when we caught something running up the stairs.
Right.
Like we didn't see it, but you could hear it as loud as can be. I really thought somebody had broke in and was running up the stairs because there was nobody else in the house but us three.
Right.
So we're down there and just had the equipment out in the basement area, living area, while we were sitting in the bedroom, blowing up the balloons and stuff, and the REM pod kept going off.
Okay.
And it was like going nuts. All colors just going around round table.
Mm-hmm.
And then the glowing motion sensors started going off as if somebody is right there watching us and everything. And then one in particular was just going off nonstop. So I walked over there to like turn it off, and it stopped going before I could even get to it. When I picked it up, it was already turned off.
What?
Somebody had clicked it, and I was staring right at it the whole time.
Wow.
It was in my view point the whole time, but something. It was on.
The button to
You
turn
have
it
to
off.
click the button to turn it off, but
Yeah.
there it was.
Interesting.
So we got a little bit of we've got activity down there in that basement
Definitely,
for
I would
sure.
call it an intelligent haunting, just because
Oh, yeah.
some of the stuff that we experienced that night, the reactions we got through,
Yeah.
of course, through this SB7, and just
Yeah.
the thing running up and down the stairs that was crazy. Just for people at home haven't heard about this, we went over to the place Jason's staying at now, and he said they've been hearing stuff. This is a while ago. God, I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean this was
This
before
is
the
plague, man.
the pre-pandemic stuff.
This was Halloween because you had Christmas or your Halloween decorations up.
Yeah.
So that's when it was. It was around Halloween back in
October
October.
time.
Yeah.
So Jason asked me to come out, just kind of hang out and see what I thought of this place, just because of all the activity they had experienced prior to this. And so we did some recordings, some videos and stuff, and I got to witness your Periscope turning on. Like we were talking about something in particular, and we heard a couple movement out of the bedroom where we were out in the living room, all of us were, and I seen the thing just kind of light up, like something had passed in front of it basically, and that was pretty neat. But we were just heavy into conversation, just talking about random stuff, and all of a sudden, plain as day, you hear these heavy footsteps come running up the stairs or running down them. I couldn't tell.
You know what we were
Running.
talking about? Do you remember what we were talking
Actually,
about?
no, I don't.
We were listening to you talk about some of the things that were happening at your house
Oh,
over the years.
really?
We were talking about you, and then all of a sudden, you hear that heavy footstep. Now, see, we, because of what we do and everything, and because she also has teenagers,
Sure.
we do have video cameras, same ones that we use for
Right. Live investigation.
live investigations and some of the night vision stuff. I have those set up around the house. That way, we can keep track of.
Like when you guys are at work and stuff.
Yeah.
You can type in or tap in and
Yep,
say
because
something to the kids.
we can
Get
talk
up,
to them
we're
and
sleeping all
everything.
damn day.
Yeah. So there is one downstairs in the basement
Yeah.
because there's no bar for the window down there to keep it locked.
Oh, right.
That's missing somewhere, so anybody could just jump down there. Yeah.
Go ahead and
So-
broadcast that on your
Well, we
radio.
fixed it now. But at the time we hadn't.
Sure, we fixed it.
Yeah. But at the time we hadn't. But anyway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we have that barricaded now, but we still just keep the camera down there, just
Sure.
kind of aimed toward that direction of the
Why
window.
Not? Why not?
just because we don't trust people. You know, people suck, and there's some, you know.
Yeah.
But on camera from that viewpoint, at the time of the footsteps running up the, you know, the heavy footsteps, you hear the carpet down there. You can actually hear like movement on the carpet as if it's just running, taking a running start and heading up those stairs, and it whizzes right past the camera.
Nice.
Yeah, it goes kind of stacky, doesn't it, too?
Yeah, oh yeah, the camera does.
It does like a vibration,
yeah, it's
or
weird.
Some kind of like pixelating, but you don't see anything per se. But it's just the timing. You can hear everything unfolding as it. You hear us coming towards the stairs, basically. Because Jason and I both jumped up and ran because we we thought somebody broke in. Honestly, that's how loud it was. The problem is when we go back and listen to the recording, as usual, because I had it. Well, I was sitting kind of towards the front door, and this was inside the middle of the house.
Yeah.
It wasn't loud enough. I mean, it's loud, but we hear it. You can hear the commotion, but it's not like we heard with our audible ears that night, which sucks. It's like, really, come on, throw me a bone here. So,
but you know, so you mentioned the camera messing up. When I guess a spirit was nearby.
Not the first time, you know.
So that takes me back to Wilson. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember when the camera on, what was it, second floor?
Second floor. Yep.
Right, not too far from the staircase, right there. It started messing up like in weird ways, as if
it's never done that before or after. Yeah.
Something was totally messing up the electronics inside. It was warping the screen, and it was like changing it to different colors. And, it was weird.
How long did it go on for?
Just seconds. Probably.
Yeah, a few seconds.
Right as this thing happened. Well,
10 or 20 seconds maybe. It was like doing that.
The thing is, I was in the sheriff's room 100. Is that 306?
306.
Yeah.
I was upstairs, you know, and I could hear it below me. It's boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what in the actual? Well, let's back up just a few seconds. We were doing a spirit box session with myself and 3 other people in there, just 3 girls basically. Because one of them thought this thing was attaching to her, especially the sheriff.
305.
Oh yeah, 305.
It's odd numbers.
It's odd. 305 and
it's 309. It's on the same as 309.
I just thought about that. It's like it didn't sound right, but.
Yeah. But 306 is we've had stuff happen in there too.
That's between them, yeah. So, anyways, we're talking whatever, and we're having a spirit box session. I'm telling us that was weird.
Like a high-pitched voice.
You guys, I heard it in here.
No, it was in here.
Oh, well, I could hear it through here too.
Well, I thought I heard it in here too.
It sounded like.
It was like
you said it was a high-pitched voice?
Yeah.
Okay, and here it sounded like a darker, heavier voice, like talking.
No.
I was like, that's why I stopped mid-sentence. Hopefully people at home caught that. I don't know, because it's coming to the microphone, you can hear it. So we just heard a voice in the studio this is usually what goes on. Now, when we lose the podcast, stay with us. We'll get it back on immediately, because this is the shit that always happens. So, but anyways, we're sitting there, and I'm asking this thing, you know, I'm like, do you think it's because somebody threw out, they thought it was, the sheriff's name's Bart. We know that for a fact.
Right.
They thought it was Bart's, like, love interest.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember her name, like Sherry or something like that. Something.
Right.
And we kept saying, no, that was real. Damn it, Jason.
Amateur over here.
Amateur.
All right. So we were saying, you know, this girl is not Sherry, whatever. We'll just say Sherry for this intent and purpose. This is not Sherry. Leave her alone, kind of a thing.
Right.
And you hear this thing go, fine, whatever, like run out the. It's like it ran out the door, and that's when you hear the footsteps below us go boom, 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 boom. You know, like running away. I'm like, holy shit, he just left. I was amazed, you know, but it was enough to like, what the fuck? So we ran out of the room.
Right.
Came down the stairs, and by that time people were coming up from the first floor to the second floor.
And they heard the same thing?
Oh, people in the basement heard it.
Oh, really?
It resonated through the whole building. I don't know where you were at. Were you
that
not
was
there?
there before I joined.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
So, well, we will go back. I'm like, DVR cameras are running. So I ran downstairs. I'm like, I want to see what this is. We had to capture something, the noise. Start finding the spot. You can see everything. You can tell when it's happening, basically.
Right.
Like it's like a black mist or a black cover got put, but you can still see through it, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's like half of the cover where we need to see is blocked out by this black thing.
Huh.
And it does this weird, I don't know, kind of like a radio frequency thing, we'll say, you know, where, you know, it goes like kind of staticky.
Yeah.
But it is that exact moment. because you can see people come out afterwards, coming out of their doors.
Right.
That's how we know that was the exact moment. You see me come down the stairs. 'Cause I tracked everything, on
Yeah.
camera, and it's like, what? I heard it again. What caused this?
Did you hear it, Jason?
He wasn't listening. You didn't hear that voice, did you?
Oh,
People in the basement heard it.
even I turned my phone sound off.
I'm late to the program here. No, I did not hear that second time.
Oh, yeah, he was looking at your phone, weren't you? That was weird. I heard something in my ear again, but in the headset. So anyway,
That was upstairs.
yeah, okay. So yeah, it was. The camera hasn't did it since. I mean, granted, we've stopped using those cameras for the most part. Well, we still use them, but we haven't.
Right.
We've been carrying a lot more handhelds lately and stuff like that, which we're gonna probably get them wired up for the podcast, the 100th episode we do, because we're gonna hot wire them
Nice.
to go live with them that night, hopefully. So
Yeah.
that's the intent. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's just, again, something in my ear. It's something like I'm gonna start recording. I'm gonna record right here. Matter of fact. So anywho, it's like because of this thing manifesting, it was strong enough to, we always say this. Use the energy around you.
Right.
Use the cameras.
Right.
Use the batteries in our phones or recorders or whatever cameras. Everywhere you can use energy, whatever, and this thing starts to happen, whatever. And that's twice now we've caught this. Different times, different places, different types of cameras. Some kind of malfunctioning, we'll say, I guess, or
Right.
something.
Interference.
Interference. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Something like that occurring. So, I mean, maybe it's using the energy to try to manifest, and it has to draw off of that.
Or it's just being that close to the camera itself.
Could be.
Maybe maybe not really using it, but
Damn, I heard it again.
Right when you take them off.
I gotta keep listening. Go ahead. I don't know what it's saying,
I'm
but it's
listening
talking.
here.
Yeah. And you have your headphones too. You could.
I have them,
yeah,
but-
yeah, you're listening. You're with your audible ear. I got you.
but what if the spirit's just actually just as it's approaching, or it moves past it, or through it, or
Could be. I don't know, because I mean, here's the thing. Both times this has happened, coincidentally, they were stomping of feet happening. Your house, this
Right.
place, this thing's running around. And it's so strong. That's the loudest footsteps I've ever heard.
it's like emotional,
Yeah.
running. It wasn't, because with you it was pissed off. With us, I don't know if it was something that you were talking about that triggered it.
Well, yeah, I told him, leave her alone. That's not the girl you think it is. This is not her. You're not
Right.
allowed to follow her anyway. Just me doing me, basically.
But then over at my place,
yeah.
when the heavy footsteps there and everything, and my camera messed up, you were talking about something about your life and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if whatever it was there, maybe it was from you.
Could be. I mean, maybe I'm resonating stuff out, like outward.
Well, if
By
something's following.
That too. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all have stuff
Not me.
attached to us. I bet you do. I bet you do. Think I could probably say who and everything. Think who, but I mean, we know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You've got the voice without me being there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Which is weird. The night in the salon when I caught the voice, the same girl that you had the incident in Wilson.
Oh, that's right.
Is the same girl that was standing in
Holy
front of me.
shit! I didn't think about that. That is the same girl.
Same one. So
I don't know what to say. Maybe it's her.
I don't know. I don't
Maybe it's
know.
her. That is. I didn't think about that until you said that.
Yeah.
Wow, that is weird. But yeah, I mean, do these things have the tendency to manipulate stuff? I think so. I mean, we've seen them on other. Like, if you watch any of the shows, like we'll just throw out Ghost Adventure. I like using Ghost Adventure. I watch it a lot. I mean, just because it's fun entertainment for me. Because it's just they go to cool places. You get to see cool things. I mean, I can't.
They
fault
do.
them. But I
Money,
noticed.
money tends to do that.
Well, yeah,
You know.
that helps. Trust me.
Right.
But I've noticed their equipment, their cameras will sometimes shut off, and we've had that same phenomenon happen
Oh,
to
yeah.
us, where we're like, "Hey, we just lost that camera. What the shit?" I mean, it's
Well,
plugged in,
Almost
nobody's touching
every
it.
piece of equipment that
Oh,
is
yeah.
powered up, I've
Yeah.
lost at one point in time
Right.
or another.
Same
Yeah.
thing happened with
After putting
Casey.
fresh batteries in it, or
True.
just unplugging it from the charger, turning it
Yeah.
on, and going out with it.
Yeah,
And just like
5 minutes later, it's dead.
yeah,
Casey there in Tahlequah lost his camera.
yeah. I mean,
Like had it
happens.
just charged, but the moment we said we were going to do this and that, and you
Right.
can't do this against us, and
Sure. Well, we've had the thing too. Even speaking of Tahlequah, the thing even cutting the wires.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, something did, but nobody knows what it was because there's no. It was not. It doesn't show up on camera, unfortunately. I mean, we've seen the video. We've shown it. I think. I believe. I don't know if
yeah,
or
we
not.
did.
So
It's awesome.
yeah, I just it makes no frickin' sense. Well, I've known like in Nest City even the thing knocking the camera off the stand, whatever. Too, that's happened. It was in their promo we did.
Nest City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the bank. Just knocking the shit off the camera, whatever, or tipping it over.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean, it sucks for our equipment, but
Hey, I'm all for it. I'm always trying to get something to happen or stir up, you know.
we don't have any insurance on that stuff.
We probably should start insurance. No, I'm kidding.
I know.
Something, because God knows I've
We
broken a
just-
fucking camera or two.
Tape it,
I've
melt
done
it
it.
back together,
Yeah, yeah.
I
shake
dropped
it around until it turns back on, and
do the old Nintendo thing.
blow
Blow on
it,
it.
blow on it,
Well, shit, I broke the, what do you call
call
it?
it names. Eventually, it works.
I
again.
busted the purple light on the black camera.
No, that's when I broke in Tahlequah, remember?
Yeah, I've dropped it a few times
Well, yeah,
before that.
because I glued it and shit too. But it was like that was the same night as the incident of the thing getting cut. But
Yeah.
this one was inside the house, which was weird. It just did not want to be on camera for some reason, which that's not surprising. That place is weird, anyways.
Excuse me.
So not weird, but just craziness what that happens there. Still trying to find shit. I can't find nothing. I'm going home.
What are you looking for?
I wanted to show just everything, kind of like the depot with you in the Jake's box, Frank's box. Sorry, that's Ruth. That was a jab
It
at
still
Ruth.
comes back to you.
Oh no, I know.
I was gonna make fun of Ruth because he's not here. Even if he was here, even if he was
You
here,
do still.
I was gonna say I just lay it on thicker. That's all. But I can't find those videos. That's weird. I know they're here. Could we? It should be on one of the files what I use for Cryptic Heartland because we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
But I cannot locate this damn thing. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's just a picture. God damn it. I'll find it.
Now
I'll
see
find it.
where Dan's at there in Stanley. I can't remember where my brother went in the hotel. Have you been there?
I've not.
No, me neither.
Wasn't he in the actual, your brother I'm talking
My
about?
brother, he was up in like a theater area.
Was he? I thought he was down in the, what the hell is it called?
He just said he was upstairs. I
Oh, was he?
thought,
Okay.
yeah.
I was thinking he was down in one of the outside building, like a stable. They
No.
used to use as a hotel.
I think he
room.
said something about being upstairs near a theater, or I don't know if they even have a theater. I'm sure they do.
They have a ballroom.
Ballroom. Maybe it's up there. But everybody was leaving, and that's when he just happened to take a photograph because his daughter was right there, and he snapped a photograph. So she's supposed to be right there.
Right.
Because everybody kind of, when I point out the picture, everyone's like, her? I'm like, no, she's looking right at the camera, and you can tell she's real. Besides, that's my niece.
Or is she?
Or is she?
Well, looking down at the way, there's a shadow figure that's not there, and it doesn't even look like anybody. He swears that person was not there because there was not that many people standing there to still
Right.
walk away because he was waiting until the room was mostly empty to snap a photograph.
I mean, yeah, and it's plain as day. I've seen the photo.
Yeah.
It's definitely a shadow person of some sort.
Right.
Whether
So,
it's real or not, I don't know. From right
and
there.
so, Dan's excited about that. He said he's going to take a lot of pictures
Good.
for us and
Good.
see what he can do.
Hopefully he catches some audio or something or video. It depends what he does.
Well, hopefully he talks to the right people and get us in there.
Leo, I sent you something.
Okay, I was looking.
It's on Facebook Messenger.
Yep, I got it right here.
But
Well,
It'll be the first part. There'll be a second part when I get it. I'll send it to you too.
what is this from?
This is from the depot. This is a Frank's Box session
Oh.
that I did that I don't even think you or Jason have ever seen. But
Oh,
there's
cool.
2 parts, so wait
Oh.
for me to get the other part.
Nope.
Very
I'm
cool.
Gonna do it right now.
I think it's got some music box in it as well.
Oh, cool.
oh, sweet.
So yeah, we're gonna hear in just a little bit. Jake sent me some footage of the actual Frank's Box session that he did at the Santa Fe Depot in
Yeah.
Dodge City.
For those,
I know Carl will be interested in seeing this. He's on the
Right.
right now too. So.
I actually haven't seen this.
Oh, well,
I did it, and I remember it, but I haven't seen the video of it.
what the hell? Oh, I'm looking at some things. One of the scenes here, trying to figure out what this was.
Leo's talking to himself.
I am.
No, it's fascinating stuff doing all that. It's a whole new twist in doing an actual EVP session with Spirit Box.
Yeah.
You know, it's for me, it's more intriguing. Of course, you have to take in the factor that you're believing what the person is saying out loud.
Sure.
But I do.
I
So,
don't. I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
believe you.
That's okay.
I'm messing around.
I'll never forget though, and Chris laughed too when the Spirit Box even called him a wuss.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, called him a wuss.
The one time, because I wasn't there when you had the conversation with the two people,
Yeah,
but then the other time when you did it on the stairs there, it wasn't saying anything about me until I walked up. And remember you, because it was what, you and Roth or you and Chris were going at the same time?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're just like, I got something for Jake. He's not going to like it. I'm just like, man, I just walked up here. What is going on?
Okay, this is the Jake Box session. Maybe. Why isn't it playing? Okay, never mind. I lied. What the hell? Well, we'll come back. Hang on. Okay, we'll wait till that's ready. I don't know why it didn't show up.
Malfunction.
I'll find it. Don't worry.
So,
So
what are you doing over here?
Oh,
he's trying to.
communicating, trying to
I
get
know.
the other half of the video.
No, it really is fun. If I think we're going to start doing that everywhere we go, to even Nest City, and Oberlin would be a great one to do that in.
Yeah. There's a couple of places in Oberlin I want to do that. One's not necessarily at the museum.
I think one would be awesome at that park.
Or at the cemetery. Where
Oh,
we
yeah, the
communicated
cemetery.
with the barber and his family. Remember
Where Leo
we
went
went
off
to
by himself.
SB7. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, here we go. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you had to, right?
Well, yeah, it's fun.
Ah!
That's not it, guys. I'm just screwing around with Jason. We're still getting the rest of the second half to the Jake sending me it right now.
Yeah, she'll send, I'll get it here in a
You're
minute.
fine. I just wanted to mess with
At least
Jason.
the shortest person wasn't in the middle, you know. So.
Yeah.
Probably didn't have you dress up as a munchkin or something.
Hey, we just got there, you know.
Liz was so happy to video that.
That's funny.
No, that was in Wamego.
Yeah.
That was just
Wizard
across
of Oz.
from the Wizard of Oz Museum. That we will be doing again, hopefully this year.
Nope.
But no words on yay or nay if we're doing it, or if it's going to still happen or not.
Also,
so.
the Columbian Theater. With
Yeah, the Columbian
many
Theater
artifacts
just
from the World's Fair in it.
yeah. If
The
anybody's
H.H. Holmes World's Fair.
yeah, if anyone knows the World's Fair from Chicago, World's Fair, it's where H.H. Holmes was America's first serial killer.
Possibly
supposedly.
Jack the Ripper.
Could have been. Could have been. I don't know.
I like that theory.
You like that
Yeah,
theory?
I do.
That Jack the Ripper came
There's a
from
lot of
there to
things
there.
that add up in it.
If we can figure out if
Timelines.
he ever left and went overseas.
Well, that's the thing. When he disappeared over there, man, he disappeared so well that
Well, I mean, H.H. Holmes. Did he ever... Because, I mean, he grew up in America. Did he ever go overseas?
who knows.
That's
There
the
weren't records of
only
that kind of
thing.
stuff back then.
Well, I mean, people would have been able to track him down because he kept opening up businesses and frauds and stuff like that. So,
Could have opened them
Possibly.
under assumed names.
I mean, he could have traveled.
And then you
Could
never
have.
know.
Because, I mean, the murders for Jack the Ripper, I mean, that only lasted for a short time.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
could have jumped ship and came back home and started again
Could be.
with the murder house.
Are you still working on getting that
Yeah,
video to me?
it hasn't came in.
Do I need to wait to show the second half you said, or do I can I
Yeah, you probably should.
Okay. Which one needs to be played in first? That one you sent me
The
first?
one you sent me.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent
I'll
you
wait
first.
then. I'll keep looking for mine while you try to find or try to get sent over
Yeah,
to me.
it's just she sent them both. You just have to wait for
I got you.
the second one to show up.
Yep, no worries. I'll keep looking for the other one because I know it's here somewhere.
Where's it at? Damn it!
I don't know. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else. Maybe this
In
is
other
it.
words-
I think I just found. Well, yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Ah, looky here. All right, boys and girls, the good part's coming up.
So, which one was the? Okay. So this is what Jason we were trying to find earlier. Of doing a Frank's Box session. Hang on.
Jake's box.
Frank's.
Frank. Jake.
This one's
I
Frank.
don't know anymore.
I know. Almost. I had to think about. Did I say it wrong? No. It's just because Mr. Roth. Give me a second. I'm pulling it up here. I found what episode
Nope.
it was.
You had enough time.
Okay. I don't know why this pulls up this way. It pulls up weird. From what I'm looking at. Oh, there it is.
I think I just may have received the second half.
Okay. Well, this is the
Yeah.
one I was trying to find earlier. So this is Jason at the Santa Fe Depot doing a Frank's Box session. If you want, you can put your headphones on, listen now, Mr. Frank or Jake. And away we go. Is it playing, hopefully? Or what the hell?
Yeah.
You might.
What's your name, Dean? Sure is. Sure is Walt.
Yeah, up there.
Who's talking to us?
Here.
Me. What's your name, me? Sure is. Sure is Walt.
Yeah, up there.
Who's talking to us?
Here.
Me. What's your name, me? Sure is. Sure is Walt.
Yeah, up there.
Who's talking to us?
Here.
Me. What's your name, me?
Oops. Okay, so you can see that. That's when Jason was doing the Frank's Box. Like he said, he puts on some noise canceling headphones and then he basically listens to a spirit box and people shout out random questions and he basically he can't hear what they're asking. And they basically if he receives a response, then so be it. If not, he'll just say what he hears as it comes through. So,
Which is
But-
crazy during some of that.
yeah, thank you.
Turn that down.
Yeah.
During some of the sessions, we, especially there in Dodge City, it was really hard to continuously say everything that was being said because it seemed like so much was coming out at one time.
Yeah, it's fast paced.
So it was like trying to, I was like that. I felt like I was that typer, in a court office,
Oh, yeah.
trying to keep up with the arguments that was
I
going
have
on.
never understood how they use that
I
little
don't know.
6-button keyboard thing.
Me neither.
I do not know how that works.
I think they have like
I think it's like old school texting where you push one button so many times for a certain letter, but I'm not sure.
I don't know, but it's very difficult to actually hear that whole set time when they were arguing with me, or in front of us.
Yeah,
They were
basically.
totally oblivious to anything that was going on with us. They just went into their own conversation. I think even Chris said that everyone just shut up and was just listening.
Yeah.
No one was asking a question at all. It was just happening in front of us. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was awesome. But
Sorry, I thought I did something wrong. Okay, I think I got the second half to what Jake sent to me.
Okay.
Give me a second here. I gotta.
nope. One.
It's about 11, 12 minutes worth.
Okay,
All together, both of it. So,
we'll do both.
That'll work.
but it's pretty good. There is a couple of guests. So I don't think you can really see them. You might be able to hear them ask a
Okay.
question or two.
Yeah.
That'll work.
So,
Uh,
do you want me to play yours next and then go back to what you played? Because you said this is how you talked about Elizabeth.
Oh, whichever
no,
one.
go ahead, finish his deal.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, the one I'm going to play next is, once again, it's the Frank's Box session, but it has to do with Elizabeth, which is the little girl spirit we don't think, we caught on this particular staircase when the first time we ever went there. I'll go ahead and play that next here, and we'll just kind of, hopefully you guys can hear it. Oh, I just heard a voice. Okay, here we go.
Elizabeth.
Did Leo ask about Elizabeth? Yes, he did. There she is again.
He is right behind you.
That voice? Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth.
Did Leo ask about Elizabeth? Yes, he did. There she is again.
He is right behind you.
Okay. So I want Jason to explain a little bit what was going on in that moment. He says,
Well, okay, so I started getting a man and a woman talking, adult. When normally up there on the staircase during any investigation that we do, it's usually a younger female, childlike,
right.
also to the point of a child. I guess a male child is up there now too.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody keeps changing their tune on who they think it is and everything like that.
Sure.
I don't know.
Right.
It's just a male that is up there as well. And I mean, I'm just going off of the evidence that we're catching, not, assumptions or anything. But with that session, it was the man and woman were arguing back and forth, starting to.
Right.
And they started bringing up Elizabeth.
Oh.
They started bringing up her name.
Uh-huh.
And one of them just keeps saying it as if, trying to make a point.
Saying her name?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying it.
Uh-huh.
That's why I'm saying it. Is because the spirit, like one of the spirits is actually saying her name
Right.
as if trying to make a point, like, hey, remember her?
Right.
Because they started to argue about, basically, the woman, from the whole argument that we got out of it, the woman got pregnant, the guy that is the father is now arrested, and is being accused of attacking her. But even though it sounded like they had a relationship, but because of race and him not being the proper race back then in that time, she's accusing him of attacking, whether it's race or whether it's wealth, whether it's
Sure.
Right.
class or whatever. He's not the one that she wanted to be known for being with.
Gotcha.
So he's arrested. He starts screaming about, they're going to hang me. They're going to hang me.
And you hear all this?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I hear it all.
Uh-huh.
And they're just back and forth, and she's pointing the finger at him, blaming him, and he's like, well, what about him? What about the other guy? What about this? And she just keeps saying, Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Interesting.
And what I'm gathering from the conversation is that Elizabeth is the child.
Right.
and
Like the illegitimate child.
okay.
kind
and
of.
Yep.
she's the child that is now there alone because she has no parents because of the
Right.
arguing battle. I mean, I want to figure out more of the story of what's there.
Sure.
Right.
That's an interesting take on that because we've always had, from the minute we stepped foot on the property, and we caught her voice, and
Yeah.
she told us who she was. We caught her crying and whimpering, kind of a thing. And
I
we
mean,
asked, "Do you need help?" You know, because
she's like,
that's the
"No."
impression we got. You know, that
I
she
think
needed
she's
help.
just sad,
probably.
and I think she tries to be happy,
Yeah.
but given the circumstances, she's innocent. She's the innocent soul of this.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe she didn't die at that age or anything, but this whole time of her life,
Yeah.
maybe such an impact in that era and around this spot. It may not have happened inside the depot, but maybe on the
True.
land itself there.
Could have been.
This could have been, I mean, all this could have happened in the days of Wyatt Earp and all them, back when in those days. Who knows?
Yeah.
But she's there in that building. So
Wow.
maybe she was just passing through on the trains a lot.
Could have been.
Who knows?
I do want
There's
to.
a lot of people that did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I do want to play the incident where this was during a live investigation. That's why we have the cameras going, and I'm back here in the studio broadcasting out to the masses, and so I'm watching all this going down basically. And at the time, we're using two-way cameras, but at the time I couldn't get them to work to talk to Jason, so we're on the phone with each other and stuff like this. So this was
Another instance of the electronics malfunctioning.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite things that's ever happened doing
I know.
this.
I know.
Because as Jason's there, I think it's Jason. Were you there? Or was
Yep.
that Chris and Renee?
I was with him.
Okay, so Jason and Chris and Renee from the team were there. And I don't know why. They were trying to get this thing. Chris put up just a toy piano that
Child's
you have
toy.
to manipulate it. You have to push it in order to play.
Because I even went up there. I even
Yeah.
made sure that I tested that, so the spirits knew and the guests knew
Oh, the little
that
piano.
you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
push it to do
Right.
it.
Well, so, and I've been there, I don't know how many times at the depot, too many to count, but
Yeah.
like I said, we interacted with Elizabeth so many times. I felt like she would know who I was, even by voice. So I decided I told Jason, I said, "Hey Jason, hold your phone up in the air for a minute." And he didn't know what I was doing. And so I just started asking for a sign.
Yeah, I put
to-
you on speakerphone on the
Yeah,
phone.
I said, "I want a sign, Elizabeth, it's me, it's Leo," and we get a reaction. So I want to play that for people at home, because you'll hear
That's awesome.
you'll hear our in the moment reaction, because it was like a holy shit moment. It was impressive. I mean, the fact that we had this interaction over this, it blew my mind to this day. It's like this is why we do it. So gotta find it first. Damn it, Leonard. I think it's this one. We're gonna play it. If it's not, I apologize.
Elizabeth, I know you can hear my voice. You've talked to us before. Can you give us the viewers at home a sign of your presence? This keyboard.
Oh, did you see that?
Get the hell out of here. Right now. Holy crap. That was awesome.
Look at Chris. Chris has goosebumps.
Wow.
Holy cow, Chris.
What happened?
Chris is.
Hey, Elizabeth, I know you can hear my voice. You've talked to us before. Can you give us the viewers at home a sign of your presence? This keyboard.
Oh, did you see
Get the
that?
hell out of here. Right now. Holy crap. That was awesome.
Look at Chris. Chris has goosebumps.
Wow.
Holy cow, Chris.
What happened?
Chris is.
All right.
So what do you think about that?
That
when
was,
it
that was
happened?
awesome.
I freaking
I actually hadn't seen that video.
You hadn't?
you haven't?
No.
Oh shoot! Yeah, you hear my reaction. That's why I sound so grainy, because I'm
Yeah.
talking through speakerphone. You
Yeah,
hear me
you
go,
have a
holy
speakerphone."
shit!
Well, we were taking a break because it was a
Yeah.
live event, and so we were taking a break. But Chris and Renee went back up there.
Well, because I had seen stuff, remember?
Yeah, so they went back up there on the break, and so Chris is like, "Hey, come with us." So I went up there, and I got you on the phone, and that's what happened. So
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments, just because of the fact that I'm here 300 plus miles away, and it's just like she responded. I mean, 'cause we had
Yeah.
tried to get her to do stuff right before that, and nothing was really happening.
Right.
So I'm just like, let's just
Yeah.
try this. What the hell?
Yeah.
Shot in the dark. And it
I can't wait
panned
till
out.
you are actually present there again.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Nope.
He is retired.
He doesn't.
from
Yeah,
the
he's
depot.
retired. Just sitting behind the camera
Man
now.
behind the wheel.
He is the
curtain.
wizard. He is the Wizard
The
of Oz
wizard,
now.
yeah.
You got the big floating head right now, so you know it fits.
I'm not floating. I'm sitting stationary.
Nah, that's not what I see.
So, going back to what Jake has sent me here, this is called, once again, it goes back to the Frank box. Was this the same night? Do you remember?
I think it was. Because was that the same night that we had the music box down in the corner of the hallway all night?
I think so. Yeah.
Then yeah, it was the same night. It was later in the night. Our group kind of split up, and I think it may have been you had went, and that was when you were doing you and Leo, or you and Roth were both doing it at the same time, because you guys had been down there a little while, and then we
Right.
came down there after mine was over.
Interesting. So this next one's another video here we're going to play. I hope I have these in order right. I can't tell, judging by either way. Well, yeah, we do. Okay, it is right. I'm looking right at them. So, okay, so this is another thing of Frank's box with
There's also the paranormal music boxes in the corner on the floor.
right. So
It's got a little flashy light on it.
yeah, and what that is, it's a music box that's when it's motion censored. So if anything passes in front of this little infrared beam, basically, it's going to set it off and play music. So you'll see all this unfold here, basically.
What's your name?
Do you like the music box?
We do.
Who's we?
Wait.
Wait for what?
For your opportunity.
See you?
Bless you. Is Beth here? Did you have a music box?
Argument.
Who's arguing?
It was me.
Me.
You.
Who's me?
Please.
Did you break your Did you break your music box in the argument?
No, don't.
Don't what?
Did your music box get smashed?
You got mad at me.
Who got mad at you?
hit me.
Who hit you? Did your dad hit you?
He's gone.
Did your husband hit you?
That's the worst of it.
What other things did he do?
Came back around and found me.
Where are you?
How'd it go?
How did what go?
Don't look.
Don't look at what?
Who are we talking to?
It doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter?
Just empty.
Are you feeling empty?
Sometimes.
Do you need help?
No.
Are you comfortable living here?
Okay.
What's your name?
All right. So that was during one of the Frank Fox sessions, and like I said, the thing in the corner as you seen was the music box that's motion activated. Now, that was going to be me being okay. I want to play devil's advocate. Let's just say
Yep.
in the moment, I'm watching this video and I'll be like, well, that's because you had the flashlight on. Whoever had the flashlight on was shining it.
Yeah.
What I like about it is you guys turned the flashlight off and it continued on.
Right.
So that means something that was moving in shadow and the dark, complete darkness.
And another thing about it, where they were filming and where they were standing, and then where I was sitting, if you look in the video, you can see where I was sitting. You can see the corner of the wall right there.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have it pointed down the hallway or down the other way. We had it pointed diagonal to the corner of the wall.
Gotcha.
So I was sitting behind where the basically beam
Uh-huh.
would be, and they were on the other side of it in the hallway. So even if they were shining the flashlight and moving it around,
Right.
it wouldn't have set it off.
No, that's cool. I mean, I like the line of questioning that was being said, and it's not just by us; it was by some of the guests. Sounded like too.
Yeah, there was a couple of guests.
Mhm.
Chris's friend, Jarrett,
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
and then Liz.
Yeah. No, that's cool. We've had that thing interact with us. Well, hell, we had it 2 weeks ago, whatever, where this shadow person was been known to be seen, and I say this thing. I'm talking about the music box itself. We've had it, and we also had a motion sensor right next to it that validated all of it. And
Oh, you talking?
No,
where we all went? Yeah.
yeah.
Well, me and the guy that
Instantly.
invited us there saw the orb, like with our
Oh,
own
yeah.
eyes, fly between us.
Yeah, later on.
And
yeah.
I've not been one of the people that's seen like orbs with my eyes
Right.
Right.
And you saw
very
that.
often, but I saw it and I was like, holy crap. And at the same time, he reacted. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
he was straight across from me, facing me. So it went right
Oh, we watched
right
the video.
between us. And oh, have you?
Jason and I showed him last week. You guys both point in the same direction. You see this thing, by the way.
Yeah.
You see it. So I will show you after the show.
It flies through.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw it with my own eyes. It was crazy.
That's after I just got touched and I felt that thing on me. It's like somebody put
Yeah,
an ice cube on
yeah.
me
You
with
got
his hand.
touched,
Yeah.
and then it flew through there, and then
Yeah.
in order, all the equipment we had over there went off.
Yeah. That's crazy. Do you remember what's on part 2 of the video?
It's just the second half of that.
Oh, I
yeah,
got you.
Yeah, to play the
Oh, that's whatever you want me to do. I just didn't know if there was more to that. I mean, that's incredible. I love, and this is what everybody wants. Yes, you don't see an actual apparition. You do see. Well, let me back up here. You see, in that video, you don't see any dust flying around.
No.
But
In the beginning, there's a couple of orbs.
you do see some orbs, and like I said, take it or leave it. I mean,
And they go right at the music box,
Yeah.
and then the music box goes off.
yeah. So that's one thing I was going to point out too. Yeah, the fact that you see those two things move in there,
Right.
but you don't see anything other than that.
No.
I mean, as far as no dust or orbs.
No, and
floating
it's a
around,
clean
so-
place,
Yeah,
so
oh,
there's
yeah.
not a lot of dust or
Yeah.
dirt or anything flying around there.
Yeah. So there's nothing swirling it up as far as you
Yeah.
guys moving. You guys are, in the video, you guys can see you're all sitting down, whatever.
Right.
So on the floor, so you're not moving around. like,
Really, all the
kicking it,
times we've been to the depot, the only place you get a lot of dust on video is in the basement.
which makes sense. It's an old.
Yeah, and it's where all the HVAC is sucking
Yeah.
it in. Now, there was one night, one of the first times I met Chris, we had the old DVD set up,
Oh
and
yeah.
we were on break, and I was standing there watching the basement feed, and we had it over by the HVAC units like we usually would.
Sure.
So you could see all the dust coming through. Well, all the dust was going the same way because it was, the intakes down there, so it's sucking everything a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So all the dust was flying the same way, and I'm sitting there watching it, and every now and then you'd see a piece of it. It was all going from the right to the left, and every now and then you'd see a piece of it come
Go the
from the
opposite
left
way.
to like the middle of the screen,
Huh.
and hover there, and then go back off.
Wow.
You could sit there and watch, and that's Chris actually came over and was standing there, and we stood there and watched it for probably 5 minutes or so. You could every now and then you'd see a piece come from the other side, and it'd either go all the way across the screen, or it'd come part of the way across the screen and then go off the other way.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, something's obviously, possibly manipulating that. I mean, yeah.
I don't know what would make a piece of dust go one way and all the
Right.
rest of the hundreds of pieces of it flying by go the other way like
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. Yeah. And the whole orb thing, you will have that argument to the day somebody can prove it or disprove it, but
Well,
most of the time I lean on the error on the side of caution.
they're the easiest things to capture in
Yeah,
a
pictures
multitude
or
of
videos.
formats.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but every now and then you'll get one that'll validate some evidence or
Right.
have erratic behavior that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we've been doing this for too long to know that. I'm not saying we're experts on the orb thing, but we also know that what looks different on camera, a bug versus somebody stirring up some dust versus
Right.
whatever.
See, when I sorry,
No, you're fine.
when
Go on.
back before I even met the team or anything like that, and I went to Glore Psychiatric Hospital, and I took
Right.
my parents and met up with the Miller group,
Mm-hmm.
and never noticed this before in photographs at nighttime, and I don't know. I don't think I've really even taken photographs at night where I have seen this before.
Uh-huh.
But it could be just dust. I mean, it's outdoors. Is it
Right.
dust? I don't know.
Right.
But after the investigation, went outside, and just the way the lights on the buildings were kind of hitting each other and stuff, I thought it was a really cool picture. So I started snapping photos, and every single photo from like left to right was just littered with hundreds of
Yeah.
orbs and stuff. And I was just standing there, and the night was calm. Because I even made mental note, there's no wind or
Right.
craziness or
Yeah.
anything. It was very calm outside. But here we were, just had all this experience inside, walked outside, took some photographs, and just right in my face, all
Yeah.
these orbs. It was almost, too much to say, that's just fake.
Yeah.
I've seen
I don't know.
I've seen that somewhere. Not me personally, but when I first started doing this. I told Jason about it. I need to find this disc. I can't find it.
I found my photographs from the Hutchison murder house, and
Oh, cool.
And I also found those photographs from Glore recently.
Cool.
I found my camera again, basically.
So share them because I want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna bring them, and you download them. You take a
Yeah.
look at them.
Because I had just when I was trying to find something for our topic tonight, I was looking on last night. I was listening to the evidence. I was listening to that
Yeah.
the Hutchison place because there's a couple of audible EVPs that are pretty interesting. We played them on a Greatest Hits show years ago, a couple years ago I think it was. But no, what I was gonna say was the disc I was talking about is when I first started doing this, and one of the place we took my oldest son at the time to, one of the ladies found out I did this for a living. She's like, "Hey, I want something I want to share with you." I'm like, "Okay, cool." She's telling me about, they went to, of all places here in Wichita, Maple Grove.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't Maple Grove. It was the one across the street.
Highland.
There you go. I can't remember that damn name. Highland
The oldest
Cemetery.
one.
Highland.
Yeah.
Yeah, the oldest one in
She goes,
Central County.
Yeah.
she said we took a bunch of pictures out there, and it's the same thing you were just describing with all the stuff in the air. But
Right.
now, what makes them glow a lot of time is the IR light or the flash of your camera, depending on the type of camera you're using. It's going to create the illumination sometimes. I mean, like the one you had saw recently, that was...
It was dark in there.
Yeah.
There wasn't no cameras
There was
going.
nothing going. This is with
No.
the naked eyes. So
Yeah.
go figure that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit more credible. I mean, a lot more credible
Right.
in my eyes.
Yeah.
But no, this place, and I had to find this disc because the thing that always intrigued me, yes, I see all that stuff. I'm like, okay, it's probably dust in the air because it's dirt roads that go into the cemetery, right? If I'm correct.
Right.
Between the graves and stuff. So that stuff
Yeah.
can kick up.
As soon as you go
Yeah.
into the cemetery, it goes right into gravel,
Sure.
basically.
So that stuff can kick up in the air. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's from
Yeah.
the trees. I don't know. But the thing that really intrigued me, she's like, and she kind of said the same thing too. And I'm like, well, I'll take a look. She said, if you look at some of those, and there's, I think, if you zoom in on them, you can see things in them.
Faces and stuff.
I've seen like, I look like a little boy in a cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that is, I seen that shit. I'm like, that's a little bit more bizarre.
Okay, so in my camera, I found the photograph from the 20th Century Murdoch, the orb.
That one's fun.
Caught that one.
Yeah.
So I'll bring it next time.
Okay.
Give it to you. You can just
I'll download
download
it
it all. So
But yeah, and then there was some of them they took because they kept hearing stuff behind them while they were in the truck. They were parked, so they took a picture, and you'll see the mirror of the truck, and there's stuff behind them in the actual mirror. So that's what's weird. I mean, so I don't know. It's probably just dust, maybe, but
it's
what
not.
if?
It's not that.
Well, yeah.
What
Okay,
if
it's not
there
that
was a-
full of gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty grassy over there.
Sure.
I mean, you got a little bit of gravel path, but
Yeah.
it's not like a heavy.
Right.
Like it's gonna kick up the moment you walk in. Drive
Yeah.
through there.
Like I said, if you're driving through, tearing ass to there, and or just driving
You
through there,
can't.
maybe.
You gotta go slow, and you can only go too far
Well,
before
even-
you just want to get out and look at and read everything.
Or even just, and this is at night, even just
Yeah.
driving up, whatever. I'm saying you can kick dust
Yeah.
that way, but they had been there for a little while and taking pictures and stuff. They were taking pictures of headstones and all that stuff, and whatnot. And so
They're both very fascinating cemeteries. That's for sure.
I've never stepped foot in there. I don't know why.
I haven't been in the other one. The old
Oh,
one.
I need to take you
But
guys.
I've been, on
I've-
the ghost tour, I've been in the other one.
I've always been warned not to go there at night.
Yeah.
Because of that's where they do a lot of the gang initiation.
I've heard the gunshots.
Yeah.
The drug deals going off in there,
Yeah.
which just surprised me. It's just right across the street. Why don't you just take both of them? I mean, what's so special about that one versus this one? I don't know. Because I know even on that street, if you go up on the corner of Maple, which is the opposite of, you waving to?
There's a little bug flying around.
really?
I was trying to get rid of it.
But across if you go north of Maple, there's a sign that says here, if you are, and it's by the police, or it's a street sign that says, if you're in this neighborhood you're not supposed to be, we're going to pull you over.
Yeah.
Because they know you're looking for drugs, basically, is what they're trying to say. That's on the corner of Maple Grove on that side of the street. So that's why when I see that sign, and I took criminal justice, and all that stuff, and the cops, I believe what they're telling me. So that's why I said I don't venture into that cemetery at night.
Right.
Versus the one across the street, which the one across the street is when we caught the blue orb.
Yeah.
Floating.
I caught a blue orb there.
Did you catch it on
The
video
first
or camera?
no, it was on a camera.
I caught it with
It
my
was
eyes.
it was the first time I met him when I
Uh-huh.
went on the ghost tour. Me and
Oh,
Liz went on
cool.
the ghost tour,
Yeah.
and we drove like around the whole cemetery in the bus for some reason that
Oh,
night.
weird.
And Liz was just taking pictures out the back. And there's one of them where it's just got a blue orb.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before from you, because that's interesting.
It's an old picture. I don't know where it would be now, but we'll see if we can
We
find
saw
it.
it. It was myself and another investigator on the tour, and then a grandparent and her son. We're just watching this thing. I'm just watching this thing. I'm not saying anything to anybody. I'm just seeing this thing, not where we're standing, by that mausoleum.
Yeah.
We're just watching this thing further back, just floating, free floating, and I'm like, That's pretty dang close. I'm gonna start walking down that way. So I get to the street and I stop the street in the cemetery you
Yeah.
drive through. I stop and I notice there's a couple people there, and I'm like talking to one of the investigators. I'm like, "Did you see that?" He's like, "Yeah, I see that." Well, they're like, "I guess watching that blue thing." I'm like, "You see it too? Cool." You know, so we're all four of us just sitting there. So I start inching towards it more and more and more
Right.
on the road, down between the graves, and as the closer I get, this thing starts traveling further. Bless
Excuse
you.
me.
This thing starts traveling further away from us. Like it won't let me get close enough to it. So I'm like, well, shit, I'll just stop. I don't want this thing to go away.
Right.
But that's funny. You say you caught the same thing where Liz did on camera. Cause
Yeah. It's in the back of the cemetery.
wow, yeah, I don't know what that is and why it's blue. Now there is Civil War soldiers buried there.
Yeah.
There's several,
Yeah.
actually.
Which when one of the first psychics I met, well, one of them that used to work with us, she was one that told me there was one particular one that always talked to her and followed her.
Right.
And,
I-
that, and
I-
that was a story that Kathy told me, too.
And
The
I
story of
had-
the Confederate
That,
guys'
that
grave
there's
too.
one particular grave out
Oh
there.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's one particular grave out there that ghost hunters, amateur
Sure,
ghost hunters
sure.
were finding out about it because for some reason his headstone and his grave was kicking off a high amount of EMF.
Oh, I've heard that. But actually, no, you said
And so they started chipping away and vandalizing his
that. I've heard
headstone.
that
It's
too.
terrible.
So the cemetery has since removed his headstone.
Yes.
He's still there.
Yes.
They have him marked where he is in the building so they know where he is so they can always protect him. But the
Interesting.
headstone is no longer there, and apparently, from what I've heard, I don't know how anybody would know, but the headstone still gives off EMF.
What I was going to say was I find interesting before this all even, because this is before I went on that tour. This is years. This is like, gosh, I don't even know, 2011, 12 or something. No, probably 12ish, 13 in that area.
Mhm.
When I saw this, because when I was talking to the psychic out there, I said, okay. I said, don't tell me where he's buried. And I pointed to that. He pointed over there, and I pointed to a certain spot. She goes, yeah, why? How do you know that? I didn't know that. I said, because I saw him. Now that I think about it, I saw this full, it was like a shadow person kind of, but it was giving off light. It was like a bluish gray.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's what we've been
A
capturing
Union
this whole
soldier.
time.
Well, it was
Union.
like a light bluish gray is what color the orb is
It's
on
like
our
a-
picture.
Yeah, this is what I saw. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes. And
Yeah.
this is during the day. This is like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I saw this thing.
Okay.
Because then I'm like, okay.
Well, when we were there and got the picture, it was like we had gone there first because it wasn't all the way dark yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when I saw that with the tour that time, I did it with it was in pitch blackness, so I've seen it. But that was just a circle ball of light, free floating.
Yeah.
The day I saw him out there was during like I said 3 o'clock. And it was like in a fall afternoon. It's also I was testing her out. I didn't tell her where we were going, so I said, "Do you mind?" I know I just mentioned, but you want to follow me? It was her and her husband and the other couple of kids with her. I said, "You want to follow me real quick? I just want to see something real quick." She's like, "Sure." I'm just trying to get a feel for you. I didn't tell where we were going. I said, "Just follow me. It's not that far down the street." So I took her to the forum.
Right.
Okay.
And I just said, we're going to pull up here. And she didn't know idea where we're going. I said, trust me, I'm not going to kill you or anything. I could, but I'm not going to. Anyways, so I took her there, and I just said, just do me a favor, walk up to the building. Touch the building, let me know what you feel, what you think. And she told me some things. And I had told, after the fact, I came back with Jason. I said, hey, Jason. I think it was Jason or Ben or somebody. I said, hey, she felt fire there. Like, there's a fire there. And somebody goes, there's not a fire here, remember? And then we found out there was a fire there at some point. We're like, holy shit.
The forum.
Yeah.
1952, I believe,
Yeah.
something like that.
But she goes, there's a small girl come up to the window right here talking to me. And she gave me her name. It's like Sarah or some shit. I'm like, well, I don't know the name specific for, in the forum. I didn't know at the time of the
Right.
any girl. But it was a small child in the same area where Brendan, well, we were on the outside, obviously, but it was the same location where Brendan caught a female or caught a child saying, come play with me. Or want to play or something like that. Come play or something,
Right.
something like that. And we also have heard, children giggling there and shit like
Right.
that. So it's like she was telling me stuff that, and she goes, "There's over here, somebody's buried over here," and I'm like, I knew that for a fact. That child that's buried when they were crossing by the alleyway, I think it is, something like that, where they just died because of tuberculosis or something. Or
It was off the wagon train.
yeah, that's what it was. So she was telling me all this stuff. I'm like, you can't know this because you didn't know we were coming here. I didn't even want to tell you this, So this
Right.
we had barely started going there. Me personally, probably maybe 2-3 years. So she never came in on any of our tours. So
Right.
So we used her a couple of spots, and Jason got to see a couple of things too with her where we tested her, and even Brendan. That's what I love about it, because Brendan, like I said, once again, is the big skeptic.
Yeah.
He's like, man, she's hitting on shit that she shouldn't know. When we went to this house, I don't know if you ever did the old Pico house, did you, with this?
Mhm.
You did the first one, right?
Mhm.
You didn't do the second one
Nope.
because it snowed real bad, and it was just
Yeah.
Larry, myself, and Brendan, and then
Right.
her. So, but yeah, so I mean, there's some credibility, some stuff I didn't know whether, because I'd questioned some things. I'm like, well, I don't know. But I was surprised she even heard on some of that shit. She's also the same person that when we did the Cowtown one, where she came out and I looked at her and she looked at me. She goes, I go, what? And she goes, did you hear it? I go, what'd you hear? And we both laughed. It's the infamous one I caught on recorder.
Nobody's home.
Nobody's home. Yeah, we
Yeah.
both heard the voice. So that's why, once again, I trust some psychic mediums. I don't trust them all. I don't trust everything they say. I wouldn't hold on to every breath they say. But the ones I've worked with personally, and like Lena, I
Right.
trust her 100%. I mean, because she's proven shit that she can't prove. I mean, she shouldn't
Right.
know. So, I mean, that's why I put some value into hers. But I don't know, man. Crazy shit. Just the whole Frank Block session, Dodge Theater and stuff like that, or Dodge Depot, excuse me. Things like that. We got about, what time is it?
45
8:17?
minutes,
Yeah.
a little less than that.
So this is the part of the show that I like to bring videos to you guys. Just to get your guys' things, your input on them.
Bring me a video.
Yeah, things that, that happened that are out there. I want your guys' take on them. This is some different ones we've never played tonight. I'll play it for you guys. So if you want to get your headphones on, Mr. Jake.
It'll burn.
Yeah, I was going to say. So we'll just play some things.
Do you want to test it out?
No.
No.
Let me get these queued up here real fast. Gotta see them real quick here. Hang on 1 second. Whew, it's hot. I'm dying of heat over
It
here.
is. It's hot in the studio.
It's because I put a new light bulb in today because the other one burned out.
Put in a heat lamp.
We got to kick hot, up here because of the screen and stuff. That's why, but unfortunately. Okay.
What do
So,
you got? I'm dying with
This
anticipation
first
over
one,
here.
this first one's a little longer, kind of like Jake's video. I'm just kidding. It's long like that, so bear with it. The story behind this guy is remodeling for some apartment owner, basically. The house is cleared out except for you'll see his stuff, and there's some shit that goes on. So you tell me what you think.
Is this a fact or fake kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here we go, fellas. Okay, sorry about that. That one didn't have sound. I'm gonna try to play with one that did have sound. 1 second here. I apologize for that. Sorry about that, guys. I cannot get this thing to play. It's starting to irritate the crap out of me. 1 second. For some reason, it doesn't want to be shown, which I find intriguing. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Rat bastard. Okay, we'll try it again here. Don't shake your head at me.
Here we go.
No sound still.
No sound.
God dang it. Why is this thing not having sound?
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa. That had sound.
I keep failing that.
Well, hell.
So what's happening in the video, Leo?
Well, yeah, it's not gonna be worth it. Dang it. You gotta have the sound.
Okay.
So we'll scrap that. I apologize.
Move on to the next.
Well, I don't know if any of them are gonna have sound. That's what's
Damn it.
irritating me. We'll try. If that one's not playing, I don't know if the next one will. We'll try it anyways.
Okay.
See what happens. This is annoying. I'll keep our mics on separate just for a second. Oh, damn it. Nope.
It's playing behind us with us there, though.
Yeah, hang on.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not playing any sound again. God dang it. I don't know why it does this. Well, shoot, that didn't work out. Damn it. I don't know why we can't get sound to play on these things all of a sudden. I don't know.
That's okay.
Well, shit.
In other words, in other news.
Yeah. Something happens with these videos all of a sudden that doesn't play.
It'll play fine after the show's over.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
We'll have all the sound, everything.
Well, it doesn't help that they updated the program that we use. So things are a lot different than it used to be. So I don't know if that's part of the reason. If there's coding issues with more people with our talk. Just computer stuff behind the scenes, so that could be. Ah, well, fuck. Okay, well, we'll move on to something else for now. We got about a little over 30 minutes left. So what else do you guys want to talk about? Anything in particular
Nope.
tonight?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Done.
Let's see if I can get anything to play. I'm just going to keep messing with this stuff from behind the
No
scenes.
problem. So, did you see that they may have DNA of Loch Ness?
I saw you shared the post. I had not read it yet.
Didn't read it.
No.
Explain.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, no, I didn't read it either.
Ah!
What the hell?
No, it's been going around for a while. I think it was 2 years ago, they dug up some DNA from the deep of the loch, and I don't know, it didn't come up as anything that was known,
Was
but
it like a dead body, or was it like poo?
I don't know how they got it. Or I don't know what they're extracting it
Is
from.
Nessie dead,
but
or
they're-
is Nessie taking big dumps that they're getting DNA out
Well,
of?
everything's taking
Big
dumps. I mean, fish poo in the water
Well,
all the
not
time.
if she's dead.
But they, what they're speculating is that Loch Ness could be actually
An
just
eel.
a giant eel.
I've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what they're possibly concluding it as, which makes sense to all the reported, sightings and
right.
stuff. Since the famous photograph, what was it?
Debunked as
yeah,
a toy.
it was a toy on a submarine. So,
Yeah.
which really sucks because that was the famous photograph that
Yeah.
everybody saw and
It's
everybody
the one
looked at.
everybody knows, the
Yeah.
old black and white photograph
So-
of Nessie, all that.
All that, yeah. So be it. But I don't know. I've been kind of watching the Finding Bigfoot again here lately, watching the reruns of that, entertaining ourselves at home.
Yeah.
You know,
I
but
started watching the Ghost Adventures Quarantine.
What'd you think so far?
It's all right.
First episode's not bad. I watched
I haven't
3 out
seen
of
the second
There's
episode.
3. There's only 4 total.
I've seen 3. 1 and 3. I haven't seen 2 yet.
3 is actually the first one is probably one of the better ones, I think. No, they're all pretty decent.
Yeah.
They're not bad. Better than they'd put in years past. So
I started watching another
Afraid
one,
to kill
Paranormal Nightmare, I think.
I don't know what to do.
Paranormal Nightmare. What's that one
Something
about?
like that. Just people tell stories. What's happening? It's not bad.
It's
all
not
right.
bad. Yeah, it's entertaining.
It's
It's
done
like
decently
Factor
well.
Faked,
Right,
not Factor
right.
Fake, Paranormal caught on camera.
Yeah, it's
They
like
have-
the same format as that.
They have the actual footage, but then they have the expert who is
Right.
basically saying it's real and how it could have went down and
Right.
stuff. They're not picking it apart whatsoever, which does bother me. You know, I mean, there's so many on there
Maybe
that
they picked it apart before they filmed.
Well, I mean, so many of the pieces of paranormal caught on camera that you could tell is being faked. Why is a spoon that it's always being brought up by one one end, and then it just spins around. It's stuff, dumb shit like that. So I don't get it.
See,
I
he's
don't
the
get
bear.
I
Now
know.
he's been poked.
It's just that
Been called
it's
people for years.
irritating. It's irritating that people do that.
It is. It makes our job harder.
Well, yeah.
'Cause everybody takes what we do as less credible because of crap like that.
A lot of people now who have been coming to me and asking questions about what we do and everything like that, and how long I've been doing it, and they still here recently they've been bringing a lot about religion to me
Really?
about it. Like,
Really?
why can't the spirit? I mean, immediately they're like, so why aren't the spirits just? Why don't they just go to the light and I'm like, really? That's how you're thinking it? I was like, first of all, we don't have the answers. That's why we do what we do.
Right.
But why do you just immediately go to that religious
'Cause
aspect?
that's all
of it?
they.
That's all they.
I don't want to use the word brainwash, but basically,
Well, no, it is.
Basically,
It is.
that's what it is, and it's happened their whole life.
Yeah.
So it's so ingrained in there that that's where their mind has to go,
And the fact that I know that she's probably, because she won't ever watch
right,
it.
wrong, or indifferent, it just that's where it goes.
So I know she's not going to be watching it or anything, but Bethany, I'm just going to throw out names. I don't care.
What about it? She's the one saying this?
No.
I was like, get
She
the
came up to
fuck
me
outta
and
here.
asked whether or not we are, because her mom's now part of team lead.
Yeah.
He's starting his own team. The other guy, he left there and then started another team and trying to take everybody. Anyway, because that's what we all do, in the paranormal field.
We wage war.
Yeah. We fight amongst each other. Yeah.
He left his own team.
Left his own team just to try and steal other people from the team just to leave her and her mom by themselves.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
anyway, so she came up to ask me if, because of some of the things that, we've gone through and some of the, kind of the scary things that we've dealt with that has kind of affected us in a way and stuff like that. But
Why?
just because certain thing, anything weird happened at work or something like that everybody turns and goes, it's Jason, he brought it here,
Yeah.
And so she brought up the
I do
whole
that.
point.
They do that
Do you
a lot,
guys-
too.
Same here.
She's like,
Yeah.
so did you guys not pray before your
Nope.
each case?
We don't pray.
And I'm like, why? First of all,
I ate a
why?
large burrito.
Why am I praying?
praying?
Why am I praying for this? Why am I praying to protect us? Why would I do that? Why would I? Not so much I'm against protecting or praying or whatever.
Right.
But why am I going to go right before I go into a house that's like haunted? We want answers. That's the whole freaking reason. Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
sorry.
No,
It's the whole reason why we're going in there to go and investigate,
Right.
Right.
We're trying to throw ourselves at the mercy of whatever is in there so we can freaking get the evidence of this stuff. But you see all these shows that are doing all the
Because your right
praying.
is always prays before
Oh,
you go
God,
in,
they
everybody
lock arms, hold
prays.
hands.
Well, they were just here.
I don't care.
Well, I'm not
Don't
saying
give a
anything
shit.
other than
They're
that they
friends
pray before the investigation.
No,
they
they
do.
were
It's
at one
on
of
their
our
show,
friends.
so
One of our friends' place. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
I wouldn't
I-
say anything bad. It's the
I'm
fact
not saying
that
that
they do.
they're not
It's
good.
on the show,
I know.
I'm not saying it's not bad or good, whatever.
Right.
It's their thing.
and it gives people an impression that everybody does that.
Right, and it's false because we don't do it. And the reason why is because why am I asking for things not to touch me, not to come near me,
Right.
not to follow me home or anything, when this is part of the frickin' job?
Yeah. That's
You
why-
want to capture evidence.
That's
Right.
why I don't carry like crystals and stuff on me.
Yeah.
During this thing. I don't carry them at all. Actually, that's just me. My
Yeah.
preference. I know you like Jake and Dan and them guys. You're into the crystals things. You know, kind of the
I haven't
metaphysical
had
side.
them for a long time.
But
Yeah.
you take them on investigations with you.
I haven't for a long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what you were saying. Okay, sorry. I don't ever take them at all because I want something.
But you have on those you can get different
Yeah,
ones,
sure,
and not
sure.
not ones that make stuff stay away
Right.
or
There's
anything
that
like
type
that. You can
of.
get ones that amplify it,
Yeah.
you know,
I just.
I like that.
and stuff like that. Which is all I ever had. I never had any of the ones that
Oh, really?
keep them away or anything.
I know some people have brought them. People that I won't call out names, but not with us necessarily, just in general.
Guests
But,
and stuff. Yeah.
I'm like, that's defeating the purpose, like Jason's saying.
It's defeating the purpose.
Right.
If I get possessed, so be it. I mean, it's my own stupid luck for doing this.
But the chances of it happening, I mean,
I don't know.
we're not all Zach that has it happen every freaking episode,
I think it affects
I feel like
us.
your oh god, how do you explain it? Your constitution, if it's strong,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not gonna get possessed.
Very true.
Yeah.
I like
Stuff's
that.
not gonna follow
I like
you
that.
home.
I
I don't know how to explain it, but people ask me, well, how do you keep stuff from following you home?
Right.
And I'm like, it's just not allowed.
Right.
It just can't. It is not allowed. It cannot follow me home. I won't, and I don't know how to explain how it. It just.
Right.
I like to think of myself as the real life Mulder, and he's just a badass. So
There's that, yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not even close. But
Yeah.
no, but that's my mentality too. It's like you've got. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. So why did she even bring that up?
Just because she was poking fun. Because everybody at work says anytime there's something weird happen, it's Jason, and then she made the comment, but then just the way she said it, she was actually asking,
Seriously asking,
seriously,
why don't you pray?
why don't we do that?
Yeah. I was just curious because I didn't know if it had to do with anything you mentioned about them dividing up or something. I thought maybe something happened. That's why I was asking.
I keep getting asked a bunch of questions about how we run teams and stuff.
Well,
And I'm like,
we just do what we do.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's like, I'm not going to give you a rundown after, 10 plus years of doing this. I'm not going to give you a rundown in 10 minutes. So,
Well,
go away.
There's more behind that too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, oh well. I was just curious. I thought something happened. Like whatever.
It's just people who keep asking me
Yeah.
stuff about religion and everything like that. I'm like, what? It almost makes me feel like they're questioning it now to themselves. Like, because
Could be.
I tell them stories and I'll show them photographs and stuff like that. Like all those photographs I take to the events. I've been taking to work and showing people, and they're just like dumbfounded by this.
Oh right.
They're
right.
staring at the little child at the top of the stairs, and they're like, well, why don't they just move on and go toward the light and stuff like that? And I'm like, why would they want to? I mean,
Or maybe they have.
maybe they have.
Maybe they have the capability to go back and forth between realms. I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Maybe the light is really just and I hate that I'm going to say it, but portal of passing back and forth.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, the whole light phenomenon thing, whatever. I think that's just people that supposedly
old school.
Well, no, it's people who supposedly had near-death experiences that have passed on, whatever. Like on an operating table, they say they see a white light. What if it's the doctor's light? You're looking.
Well,
Exactly.
You know what I think all those I died and came back stories are, and I might be wrong, but I think they're DMT. I mean, DMT is the most powerful hallucinogenic drug known, and the human brain produces it
Right.
twice: when you're born and when you die.
Yeah.
It produces it.
And
So who's to say they died? There it is documented that they died
Right. Their
and
heart
were
stopped.
dead
Right. Brain. Yeah.
and then came back.
Right.
right,
So, if the theory is correct, when they died, their brain would produce DMT,
Right.
and they would have one hell of a trip. See a bright light, see dead relatives,
And if you're
see
on
crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden come back and you're like, whoa.
and if you're on a
You
surgery
know?
table or a doctor's table or anything, I mean, for you and I right now, close your eyes and look at that. I mean, that's a freaking bright light.
I can see
even
that
with your,
without looking at it. I can
Yeah,
see
I
it
know.
through the top of my skull.
I know, that's very bright. But you get that bright light sensation, and yeah, you see a bright light.
At least you're not staring into one. I have one staring at me right now that I have to like. I see like halos around you guys.
Yeah,
No.
but that's what I think. A lot of the crazy bright light dead relatives. Somebody gave me a message. I saw God stories from the people who died are, and I don't think it's a hoax. I think that it's something that legitimately
Oh, I do too.
happened in the
Right.
head.
Yeah.
But I think that's why. I think it's the DMT. It
Okay.
happens when you die. It does.
Right. Well, and see, I can.
Usually
Okay.
nobody would remember it, but those people woke back up, so maybe they remember their
Yeah.
crazy DMT trip that happened.
I can kind of speak on this a little bit. My grandpa, who passed away in January, days before. I mean, he called me Sunday morning. Like they called me like at 6 in the morning, I think it was. And I was like, "Oh crap, what's going on?" And I get a phone call that early
Yeah.
from family, and it's not happening. Anyway, he wanted to talk to us, all of us, the grandkids, and just let him know. He knew something was going on. I mean, he died that Tuesday, I think it was.
Right.
He said, "I just wanted to let you know this is it." And I'm like, "Okay," but they had been telling me he had been visited by my grandma who passed away 2 years before, and
Right.
saying that he said she keeps saying, "Come on," she called him Dad. "Come on, Dad, it's time."
Right.
And maybe it was. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That is intriguing to me and also mind-numbing or mind-blowing at the same time. It's just like maybe she did. Maybe she's letting him know by him seeing her more.
Right.
Right, days before this happened,
Well,
maybe it's his way of saying it's time to come. And he saw two people. He saw her, and he saw a younger guy. He could never figure out who it was.
Yeah.
Which we've been talking about this just in general recently, and the family. I say we.
Yeah.
We don't know if it was his because he was the oldest living of them all. He lived to 98 almost. We don't know if it was one of his brothers. Or
Yeah.
if his dad maybe does
As a younger person, yeah.
He can never figure out who it was. He could
Right.
just see his ex-wife, or not ex-wife, his wife, who had just passed away. Like I said, 2 years before that.
Right.
And I don't know. I want to believe it's true. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure he was saying something. He was really telling Renee and I, especially, just because he knows what we did.
Right.
So it's like,
Right. Well,
yeah.
I've had the same sort of thing. I haven't even told you guys, but I go over to my grandma's and eat with her on the weekends sometimes. My grandpa died a couple years ago, and I've told her what I do. I don't know if she really understands,
Mhm.
or she seemed to. I mean, she seemed to take it better than I thought she would. But so we're over there eating one day, and she's like, "I didn't sleep very good last night." I'm like, "Oh, well, why not?"
Mhm.
Well, I just kept talking to your grandpa. I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah. He was in the room with me in there, just sitting on the bed. And he kept waking me up and talking to me."
And this is Liz saying that?
No, my grandma.
Oh, your grandma. I missed
My
that part.
grandma.
Sorry, I think
Yeah.
it's Liz. I apologize.
Yeah, because she was just telling me, it started off with she didn't sleep very good.
Sure.
And I asked her why, and then she just came out and said, "Well, your grandpa kept waking me up and talking to me."
Yeah.
In there, he was sitting in there, and he'd wake me up and talk to me, and we talked for a while, and then I'd go back to sleep, and he'd wake me up again and talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't sleep very good, and then she did it again. Only this time she said it was my sister. Well, my sister's still alive,
Oh.
but
Right.
she swears it was her.
Right.
And then there was the most recent time, she said that she thought she heard my grandpa in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandpa, I guess, back in the day, before I can remember, used to smoke cigarettes. Back in the day, everybody smoked cigarettes.
Right.
He'd usually get up in the middle of the night wanting a cigarette, so he'd go to the kitchen
Oh.
and go sit in there and have
Wow.
a cigarette.
Yeah.
Well, she said she'd hear him because he'd keep his cigarettes in his mattress in a drawer in the kitchen.
Mhm.
He'd go to the kitchen and she could hear that drawer open and close.
Wow.
And that's what she thought she'd heard.
Right.
And she thought she'd smelled it. Well, we all know that you catch smells sometimes.
Sure.
But my grandpa quit smoking before I was even around. So that was a long time ago.
I wonder
So
if that was residual, maybe.
she said she got up and went in there. Well, there was nobody in there.
Right.
So
Did she still smell the smoke?
No,
Do you know?
no. But she said instead of going back to bed, she just sat down in a recliner and
Oh.
tried to doze back off there.
Gotcha.
And she said she was sitting there. She said she didn't know how long, but she had dozed back off. And then she heard what she described as a bang that shook the whole house.
Yeah.
She thought it was on the front door,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just like a bang that shook the whole house, woke her up.
Yeah.
She said she was frightened. She got up, got a flashlight, went around the whole house, turned all the lights on,
Yeah.
turned the lights on outside, looked around everywhere. There was nothing. There was nobody anywhere.
Mhm.
The doors were locked. Everything was just like it was.
Right.
You know, could that have been in a dream or something weird? Sure, I
Yeah.
guess, you know, it could have been. But
Yeah.
the way she said it to me, you know, when somebody's saying something to you, you know it's not a lie.
Right.
You
It's
know what
they
they're saying really happened, no
believed.
matter
Yeah.
how far-fetched it seems.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it seemed like it really happened like
see,
that, you know.
the whole thing about falling asleep like that, that's a known phenomenon that happens. Well, now, I'm not saying what she experienced was the same thing, but it's kind of like sleep paralysis, but the opposite way. You're trying to fall asleep. So your senses are shutting down, but a lot of people have been, heard of the famous bang, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that's what happened to
I
her.
could have been.
But the thing I wondered is if the whole lighting the cigarette, smelling kind of thing. Maybe she saw him. I don't know. Did she say she interacted with him?
Not that night. The night he sat on the bed, they had a conversation,
okay.
apparently.
So maybe
I mean,
that was
so-
his intelligence spirit. I wonder if that one, the residual, or if that one was residual, but just something he routinely did. Like you said,
Yeah.
the thing that struck me out about it is you said he quit doing that a long time before you even did it.
Yeah, I
or
wasn't even
whatever.
alive when he wasn't smoking when I
Yeah,
was
so
alive.
if that was just something residual, or maybe it's him living his life at that time.
In
I
the
mean,
afterlife way, the way Grandma puts it is that he's waiting for her. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
maybe he's having a smoke in the afterlife. You know, he's already dead.
Why not?
Screw,
Wait,
you might as well have one.
all right. Well, that's what they say when
Go sit at the kitchen table and have one.
we're the same way we were in the during the current life versus in the afterlife. That's why the people that are grouchy and grumpy or whatever, happy pranksters.
The
No.
odd part was when she said she talked to my sister. My
Yeah.
sister's still alive.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's really weird.
it is, but it's not though, because we talked about the whole Jason and Grant case thing where they kept seeing the little girl, and they're like, "Who's that girl?" Whatever, that they actually witnessed with their own eyes. They thought
Yep.
it was the owner, and it
Yep.
wasn't. It was her. Was it her friend?
Yeah, I went over to the friend's house to see,
Mm-hmm.
talk to her and get a background of who the client was back in the day, and they
Mm-hmm.
saw the photograph on her mantle, and in the picture it's two little girls, and they could see it's dated,
Right.
and they're both like, "Who is that little girl, Nick?" In that photograph, and they're like, "Oh, that's me and so and so,"
Right.
and they're like, "You're shitting me."
Right.
So the image that was being projected was
Is the person that
actually.
was still alive?
Yeah, the client that they went.
The person
she
they're
was-
talking to.
The person they're talking to go investigate the house.
Yeah.
She's projecting
To the old
the
house.
traumatic night that she was being attacked by her own dad.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right.
And she was first playing in the room, then she comes running out of the bedroom, runs down the stairs all the time, runs out the front door, and about an hour later or so, she's standing back at the front door, pounding at the door, wanting in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how the night went. The dad locked her out after he
Right.
went up there to the bedroom. She runs away from him, runs out the front door, so he just
So was
freaking
it
locked
a
it.
previous owner that? Because obviously the current person's seeing this phenomenon happen, whatever, seeing a person, whatever.
Because the current person is her.
No, wait, what?
You missed the story.
Well,
to it. They went to the house because this woman is saying she sees this little girl, and she just wants to know who she is.
Right.
So when they finally sit her down to talk to her about it after
Yeah.
going to the friend's house and all that, she had just moved back into this house
Okay.
because this was where she grew up and she kind of missed it and everything.
So I thought the friend was the person that's
No.
that's who they saw.
Yeah, that's no.
It's just okay. they
This
saw
is
the
actually
picture.
her. So
Okay.
they brought the photograph and
Yeah.
they're like, "This is you. This is the girl that we just saw on the
That's
staircase."
right. Okay.
And it finally just like hit her.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh my God, I remember that night."
Yeah.
And they're like, "This is like a very, like, she buried that part of it in herself.
Now, would that be what they would consider like a PK? Where you've used your emotions so heavily to manifest that into something physical?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's hard to say. I mean, possibly. I mean,
And she was able to leave it
I have
behind,
no- I have
though.
no
That's what's
knowledge.
interesting. Usually
Yeah,
those
well,
stay with the
Yeah, it's
person.
so traumatic. I mean, it was like she moved away, and it never happened when she moved away, but when
Yeah.
she moved back into that house and started like reliving the moments subconsciously, I don't know, but it was projecting it. But Jason and Grant actually saw the spirit
Yeah.
of the girl come running out of that bedroom, ran down the stairs, and it went right into Jason.
yeah.
And he was just like, whoa, what the fuck, you know, what is this? So that's why they went to go talk to the friend and
Oh,
say,
gotcha. I couldn't remember.
you know, can you give us some background on her and everything? And she did and everything. That's when they noticed the photograph on the mantle. And
Yeah.
it's like, what the hell?
That story always stood out from the, their stories, and that and the thing that they see,
the face in the window.
like the alien,
The
possibly.
alien.
Or
You
whatever.
heard this one, right?
Uh,
Oh, can I tell it?
I've
Do
never
it,
watched
do it.
this. So
No, this is
No,
the book.
this is their book.
Their books.
No.
This is their book. This is
I don't know
story.
how to
Okay,
read, so-
so get the get this. Okay, so this is stories before Jason and Grant ever had a TV show, had a huge team or
Okay.
anything. This is pretty much them doing it on their own.
Right.
So they get a call to a house in New Hampshire, off in the woods. It was perfect setting. This couple and their daughter had the perfect house. It was their dream home, living life, doing great. But they contacted the paranormal team because they finally all came together and they said that they were having bad nightmares,
Okay.
seeing strange lights in the house, and they're seeing children in the house. But they're like, this is a brand new house. We had it built.
Right.
So did we build it on some kind of weird land or something like that? So Jason and Grant drive all the way to New Hampshire, because they were way out in Rhode Island or whatever.
Okay.
So they get there, they check it out, they hear the stories, they set up the cameras, and they said, okay, what else are you hearing at night? Well, we hear like windows opening and closing, the sound like that opening and closing.
Yeah.
And sometimes we hear like a heavy sound outside. It's like something being drugged. He's like, picture like a heavy bathtub being
Okay.
drug outside in the dirt and stuff. We hear stuff like that. But then weird lights, and they're like, okay, well, we'll give it a shot. They investigate all night. They hear some weird sounds outside. They go and investigate it. They're checking it out and all that. And they're like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll do that. And they go. They do a whole full night. They go back to the hotel. They view the images and videos and all that. And so they're sitting there, and they're watching around the same time that they're hearing all these weird noises outside. The camera that's facing the sliding glass window, and there's another window just to the right of it. They're sitting there watching that camera, and all of a sudden there's this face that pops up in the window, and it's like
Yeah.
looking in. And then it drops down, and then it walks past the sliding glass window,
Really?
and it just floored them. They were like, it looks like
What's
a
it look like to
frickin'...
you?
They said it looks like a frickin' gray alien.
What's it look like to you?
We don't. It's a book, so
It's
we
a
don't
book.
see
No.
it.
It's
we
a
don't,
book.
we don't get
It's
to
a
see
book.
it. They never have brought the footage out.
Yeah, so I'll get to that point.
Where's the footage?
So,
They don't show a picture.
there's a reason for why they don't show it.
Yeah.
So they see this, and they're like, what the fuck? Did we just capture this?
Yeah.
Do we have footage of this? Of something real. So they go back the next night, and they do the whole night again. Set up the cameras and everything. So they're sitting around, they're looking around, they're more alert to what they're wanting to look at and everything like
Yeah.
that. So they hear some more noises outside, so they go check it out. And then that's when, as they're out there, the dad comes out to see, hey, what's going on? I saw, your flashlights are out here. And then as they're talking, their daughter starts screaming. They run inside to console her and everything, and calm her down. And all she's saying is, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Get out of here! Get him! Make him go away! Make him go away!" Stuff like that. And Jason and Grant are just like, You know, because they already have an assumption of what in the world is happening here, and it's not paranormal.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they
it
go
is.
back.
It is paranormal.
It is paranormal, but it's not in the
Paranormal
ghosts.
just means
I know,
unexplained.
right? It's just not ghosts. It's not
Right,
what
right.
they were
It's not
sent there
spirits.
for.
Yeah.
So they go back, they watch the video footage of it, and sure enough, they see the same kind of creature hovering or, moving about the windows and actually walking around on the deck again, peering in
Really?
and looking in. So they had to go and contact one of their friends who deals with abductions and UFOs, and they had to sit the family down and say, well, you're not actually being haunted. You're actually
Being
being
visited.
you're being visited by something that is from the unknown up above, which floored him. And from the date of the book, the guy that the UFO expert was actually still working with the family
Yeah.
and everything. But since it's private
Right,
and it's
right.
client confidential, they cannot put out the video footage of that. But can you imagine
I'd love to see
having
it.
that video footage in your hand?
I would love to see it.
I would too.
Yeah, I mean, what would you? How would that go through your mind and everything about seeing that this is proof of aliens beyond here? And even if you already felt like it was true, but knowing that
Oh, I
you
definitely
had
feel
the
like it's true already.
right, but how would you feel with actually
Oh, it
having
would
the
floor
footage?
you, man. It would floor you just to see it.
Yeah.
Would it change
Just, I
everything you
mean-
think about?
No, because I already believe in them. So,
Right.
so
But
no.
knowing that you're seeing it and you can view it anytime you want to, this little creature looking back at you.
It'd be pretty amazing.
I know.
I want to see it. Yeah.
I'd pay to see it just once.
I know. And that story is in their book. I read it,
Yeah.
and it was like, as soon as I read that story, that chapter,
Yeah.
I just put the book down and stared at it because I was not expecting that
A lot to take
whatsoever.
in.
Yeah, I was digging their whole paranormal and
Yeah.
their ghost hunting stuff and going into the house where the toddler was like picking up the couch and moving it around.
Really?
Picking up a whole end of a couch and moving it around and screaming and saying weird things as it was, it was
Like in
basically,
tongues or
yeah, it was
whatever?
basically
Yeah.
possessed.
Yeah.
That kind of story was awesome. I get to the face in the window, and I just put the book down. I was like, I'm done for a little bit. It's like,
We're not going to top that right away.
yeah, it's like, well, just the idea of not knowing that these creatures are like sneaking into your house and everything like that. The episodes on the X-Files, I always kind of freaked me out a little bit, with the idea of it. And that was back when I was younger, so I'd have like little nightmares at night about it. Just I'm not even scared about the ghosts or the demons or whatever else
Right.
that are possibly, but a little gray creature coming in and staring at me from the window and stuff, that gets me every freaking
Yeah, what if
time.
that's what ran up your stairs, man?
You can go to hell. You
I don't know, man. That whole thing was weird. Just that whole night was bizarre.
Yeah, that our house is actually pretty weird. So even I told Dan about his light up sensors and
His balls?
everything. I
Told him
Oh,
about his
yeah.
balls.
his glow up balls. I told him, I said I went to pick it up and it was already off, but it had just been working. But it was like it knew what I was going to do. I was going
Right.
to go over there and turn it off, and nope, it did it for me. So
Yeah.
Dan's like, well, before you freaking move, we've got to come all in and do it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
we will,
Yeah.
I promise.
Chris had mentioned we need to investigate here.
We do.
Studio because of all the shit that was going on last week and some of the stuff that was happening. He said this last week.
So Chris, you're going to have to ask his wife about it.
My wife?
Yeah.
No. She kind of shies away from it just because
Yeah, I
she
know.
doesn't want to know about it.
But she wouldn't
does.
really want us coming down here and stirring it up, would she?
As long as it didn't attack her or the boys, I guess she
That's
wouldn't
true.
care, So
That'll be your call.
uh,
If any day you want to.
I'm sure we'll stir some shit up when we start doing our experiments. So more stuff.
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
hell, you saw something last week, so you remember?
Yeah,
Like,
I did.
watched you. I'm like, what is he looking at?
Can I tell
I
him?
don't give a shit.
Oh,
Okay.
what'd you see?
So there's these posters right here, right?
Yeah.
So you see nothing going on in the posters, right?
No, just some
There's
badassery.
There, but there's reflection. There's light
Right,
reflection.
right, yep.
So him and I are talking, and I'm sitting about here I'm still sitting over there. So I got what angle you have right there. And he's not, he's moving around, but you can't see what he's
Can you
doing.
see me moving?
No. Well, in the top of
In the
this
top
one,
of it, I'm
Okay,
looking
but-
at, I'm looking
You looking at Halloween down there?
I'm looking at Michael Myers.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm talking with him and listening to him talking, and I see movement out of the corner of my eye, and I look over at the poster, and it almost looks like legs walking past. Or
Really, in the reflection
in
of
the
it?
reflection, as
Yeah.
if it was in the room, but moving that way.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm watching. I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden I see his eyes. He just fixates on something, so I'm watching him, and I don't break contact with his eyes. I didn't go look to see what he's looking at. I looked at him. I'm like, what are he looking at?
Because you know,
I can tell.
I don't ever really capture things too much
Right.
because my brain is too busy everywhere else. But for this, I'm concentrating on listening to him, and bam,
Yeah,
I saw it, and I'm like,
he turns like that, so I'm looking at him.
I'm just like staring into the poster.
and he doesn't break his glaze ever. I'm like,
I
what's he
saw
what's he looking
movement, and
at?
it looked like a person walking off.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm not surprised with the stuff that's happened outside the studio door here with the things we talked about in the past.
And the female voices in here
Yeah.
talking to us.
Yep. I tell you, well, probably people that at home never heard this, and you probably never heard this. I told Jason one day, I came home, when I got my case that's on the floor right here and all my stuff, from
Yeah.
the new stuff I got, I couldn't get a hold of anybody to come to my house to let like my brother-in-law or somebody to go and let, at least put it in the garage. There's all this stuff's not sitting on the front porch.
Right.
So I'm like, crap. I'm just going to go home. I'll go on my lunch break, I'll just zip on home and put everything away. So I come home, and the kid in the candy store, I come down here and start opening shit up, and
Right,
there's nobody
right.
here.
Right.
It's during the school day, work day, whatever. I'm sitting there, and nothing's turned on, no TV, nothing, whatever. All of a sudden I hear a girl start talking to me. I was like, fuck? I'm hearing voices above me, like talking. I'm like, I can hear footsteps, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, who the fuck is in my house? So I'm like, oh shit, but I was scared to even leave the room. I'm like, oh well, gotta go out and see who's here. So I
Yeah.
walked around and I went through every closet, every door, and there's nobody here. And I've heard it multiple times since then, but it's the fact that same thing. I mean, female voice.
Yeah.
Now, you heard like a certain creak in the floor that you said is
Yeah.
distinct.
You can hear when somebody's walking. Well, not
If
tonight.
somebody
'cause
walks upstairs?
Somebody's stomping. You can hear that, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is like boom, and it's like I can hear that.
And
I'm
you
like,
know exactly what room that's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard it outside our bathroom door too,
Yeah.
where I've heard, because I even came out and I was like, I was asking my wife, were the boys, you talking to our youngest son, are you talking to him? He's like, no, I'm not talking to anybody. I was watching my show right here, and I hear the distinct voice. I'm like, no, I heard voices, whatever. They were gone last weekend in Kansas City, and I was sitting up on the upstairs watching TV. My back's to the staircase right here,
Right.
and I could hear something come upstairs, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, who the fuck's in my house again? So I'm turning around, nothing's there. I could hear shit moving in the upstairs living room too, which would be the same area with the creaking and shit.
So you're the one that brought the stair runner to my place.
Probably.
Maybe Stairmaster. Yep. So, all right, y'all, it's that time, man.
It is.
8:59. Let's go ahead and wrap it up here.
All right.
Before we get off here, the phone. Yeah, right.
Who's saying shit?
Oh, they're saying I look flustered and red. No, it's because of the light right here in front of me. This light right here. See? If I can block it out, it's creating a weird hue. Now I'm really red.
No, he's red. He's
You
just
look
red.
like a demon
I'm
over
Satan
there.
over here, especially with the big beard. If you can see the beard, you can't see it well. Anyways,
You really matched that one right there.
my beard's a little longer. My horns might be shorter. I don't know. No, it's just the lighting here. They're sitting in an open space, and I'm right here. That's why people say I look really red. Plus, I got sunburn today. That didn't help. Yes, Mexican people can sunburn.
Yeah,
So.
it's true.
No, but that's why. And Carl said that's just Leo. It's his normal podcast look. So, whatever. Sorry about the tangent there. Anyways, that's why I look red, people. Okay, here, I'll fix it real quick, just for you. She said I look too red. I'm gonna go white. Like ghostly white here. Sorry, I'm screwing around now. It's about that time.
Uh-oh.
So let's see here. I can get rid of color and shit. I don't want to go too light. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm just that red.
Nope, you're just red.
Oh, there we go.
there you go.
How's that? I'm ghostly white.
Oh man, he's whiter than me now.
We'll leave it at that. Hope the red's coming through again. See if the devil happens again.
He's got a hell of a sunburn.
No. Anyways, okay, I'm done playing around. So, all right, well, that's another podcast for this show for this week. We'll be back. I think we'll be back next weekend. Anything going on? Do we know?
I mean, 4th of July weekend.
4th of
next
July.
weekend. Yep.
Shit, I don't even know.
Saturday.
We might be
Saturday.
back with all of our fingers and toes.
So,
We
yeah.
may not be.
Okay, well,
I think I'm actually gonna just stay home.
I probably will
We
too.
may just stay home, grill out.
If we need to, if we may move it to maybe Tuesday, but we'll probably leave it on.
I'm sure
Sunday.
Tuesday or Sunday's fine.
Okay, I got nothing going on. I'll be here. So.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay.
Are you gonna
So-
be here?
We might be going to Parsons.
Okay.
So it may be a no.
Okay.
Okay, we'll make it work.
Keep us know.
So keep us know.
Keep us know.
I'm tired.
Yeah, it's
Keep us in the know.
in
Yep.
the know.
So, all right, y'all. Well, once again, thank you for tuning in for Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode 106. We'll be back with 107 next week, and we're still in the works of planning our special 100th redo. We're gonna get everybody together probably on a Saturday, hopefully, and
Yeah.
we'll go live.
We're gonna have
investigate.
an all-afternoon
Yeah,
investigation
it's gonna be
time.
great.
Yeah. So it'll be fun, and then we got some other stuff in the works too for the studio and whatnot. We're gonna try to do so.
Yeah.
Right on, guys. Well, thank you to the viewers at home.
Yeah.
Make sure you hit the little like button. Make sure you, if you're on YouTube watching this, make sure you hit the little bell. That way you can go live with us or
Yep,
get notified.
subscribe.
Yep. Subscribe to the channels. Spread the good word. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I
Share
said,
this everywhere.
Yes, please. So, all right. With that, we out of here. See you guys next week.
Bye bye.
See ya.